Friends, let me ask you something. Have you ever pulled a bell pepper off your plant and felt disappointed because it was small, thin-walled, and honestly not worth the wait? Meanwhile, your neighbor's peppers look like they belong in a magazine, big, heavy, and absolutely gorgeous. Well, here's the truth. They're not doing anything magical. They're just doing one or two simple things that most gardeners completely overlook. And today, I'm going to share exactly what those things are. Stay with me. This one's going to change your pepper game forever.
Welcome back to Senior Garden Advisor. I'm so glad you're here. Now, let me tell you why I absolutely love growing bell peppers, especially at this stage of life. They don't need a huge space. You can grow them in raised beds, containers on your patio, or right in your backyard garden. They're not fussy plants. They just need a few things done right from the beginning. And here's what I love most. A single healthy bell pepper plant can give you a dozen or more beautiful fruits through the season. That's a lot of fresh, homegrown flavor from just one plant. So even if you're only growing 4 or 5 plants this year, you can have plenty to enjoy and share with family. The key is getting the foundation right, and that starts before you even put the plant in the ground. Before we talk about planting, let's talk about choosing the right variety. This matters more than most people think. If you're growing in containers or raised beds, look for compact varieties like sweet chocolate, gypsy, or lunchbox peppers. They stay manageable in size and produce wonderfully in smaller spaces. If you've got garden beds and want those big, thick-walled beauties, go with California Wonder, Big Bertha, or King Arthur. These are classic varieties that perform beautifully across most of the country. One more thing. I always recommend starting with transplants from your local garden center rather than seeds. Seeds take time and extra effort. Transplants give you a head start, and honestly, they're just easier on us. No grow lights, no seed trays, no waiting 8 weeks. Just healthy young plants ready to go in the ground. Now, here's where most folks go wrong. They bring home their transplants and put them straight into the ground. I understand the excitement, but please take 20 minutes to do this first. Fill a bucket or a basin with room temperature water. About 3 to 4 inches deep is fine. Set your transplants in there, pots and all, and let them soak for 15 to 20 minutes. This fully hydrates the root ball. A dry root ball going into dry soil is a recipe for transplant shock, and transplant shock can set your plant back by weeks. While they're soaking, take a good look at each plant. If you see any yellow or damaged leaves near the bottom, gently pinch them off. Those tired leaves are just draining energy from the plant. You want all that energy going into new roots and new growth. Here's a little senior gardener tip. Set a kitchen timer when you start soaking. It's easy to get distracted in the garden, and this way you won't forget about them. All right, let's talk about how deep to plant. This is critical, and it's where a lot of well-meaning gardeners make a costly mistake. You might have heard that tomatoes should be buried deep, with most of the stem underground. That works for tomatoes because they grow extra roots along the buried stem. But bell peppers are different. They don't do that. If you bury a pepper plant too deep, you're inviting stem rot and fungal problems. Here's what I do. I dig my hole about 6 to 8 inches deep. Then I position the plant so the first set of real leaves sits just above the soil line. You're burying a little bit of the lower stem, which helps with stability, but you're not going so deep that moisture sits against the main stem and causes rot. And here's something people miss. Don't create a bowl or depression around the plant. Keep the soil level flat, or build a very gentle mound. If water pools around the base of the stem, you're asking for trouble.
For those of you working in raised beds, this is actually easier because you have more control over soil depth and drainage. That's another reason I love raised beds for pepper growing. Before I set the plant in that hole, I add 2 simple amendments that honestly make all the difference. First, about a tablespoon of wood ash mixed into the soil at the bottom of the hole. If you have a fireplace or a fire pit, you've already got this. Just make sure it's from clean, untreated wood. Wood ash is loaded with potassium, which is the nutrient that helps peppers develop thick walls and size up properly. It also contains calcium, which prevents a problem I'll talk about in a moment. If you don't have wood ash, use bone meal instead, about a tablespoon per hull. Bone meal is rich in phosphorus, which drives strong root development and encourages flowering. Here's the important part. Mix the amendment into the soil at the bottom of the hole. Then add a thin layer of plain soil on top, about an inch, before setting your plant in. You don't want the roots sitting directly on concentrated amendments. That can burn tender roots. You want those nutrients nearby and available, not touching. After you place your plant, fill in around it with soil and firm it gently with your hands. Not too tight, just enough to eliminate air pockets. Give the plant a light tug. If it wiggles easily, press the soil down a bit more. Let me tell you about the most heartbreaking problem in pepper growing. Blossom end rot. You'll see it as a dark, sunken spot on the bottom of the pepper, usually while the fruit is still growing. It spreads and the pepper becomes unusable. Now, it looks like a disease, but it's not. It's a calcium deficiency. And here's the frustrating part. Your soil might have plenty of calcium, but if your watering is inconsistent, the plant simply cannot absorb it. Calcium travels through the plant with water. So when the soil goes from dry to soaked to dry again, calcium delivery gets disrupted. And the result is that ugly rot on the bottom of your beautiful peppers. This is exactly why that wood ash we added matters so much. It puts calcium right in the root zone. But the other half of the solution is consistent watering. And that brings me to my favorite tip of all. Here's my bonus tip, and it's a good one. Once your plants start flowering, give them Epsom salt. Dissolve 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt in a gallon of water. Use this to water your plants once every 2 to 3 weeks during flowering and fruiting. Epsom salt provides magnesium, which helps the plant produce more chlorophyll. More chlorophyll means more energy from sunlight, which means more flowers, more fruit, and thicker pepper walls. Since I started doing this, my plants produce noticeably more fruit, and the peppers themselves are bigger and heavier. A box of Epsom salt costs a couple of dollars at any pharmacy or grocery store. You probably already have some at home. One more thing. Give your plants space. I keep mine 18 to 24 inches apart. Crowded plants get less air circulation, more disease, and less sunlight on the lower leaves. Give them room to breathe, and they'll reward you generously. So, let's bring it all together, friends. Hydrate your transplants before planting. Plant at the right depth, with the first leaves just above the soil. Add wood ash or bone meal for potassium, calcium, and phosphorus. Use the buried pot system for effortless, deep watering. Feed with Epsom salt during fruiting, and give your plants proper spacing. None of this is complicated. None of this is expensive. It's just smart, simple gardening that gives your plants exactly what they need. And when you do that, they respond with big, thick, beautiful bell peppers that make every bit of effort worth it. If this was helpful, please subscribe to Senior Garden Advisor. I share practical growing tips every week made especially for us. And I would love to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge with bell peppers? Drop a comment below. We're all learning from each other here. If you loved these bell pepper secrets, don't miss my next video. 7 secrets to growing infinite bell peppers, no digging. Click Watch Next and let's double your harvest. Thank you so much for watching, my friend.